Imagine holding a set of emerald green tablets in your hands, indestructible and radiating a strange energy. As your fingers trace the ancient symbols engraved upon their surface, you feel a tingling sensation, the vibrations of knowledge entering directly into your consciousness. This isn't fantasy, it's how the disciples of Thoth described their experience with the legendary emerald tablets. These tablets, carried in a chest made of hard leather by ancient priests, contain what they called magical letters, with a power that opens the realms hidden to human knowledge. Today we will explore what these tablets actually said, how they've influenced everything from modern science to spirituality, and most importantly, how their wisdom about the divine power of thought can transform your relationship with reality. The question isn't whether this ancient knowledge has power, it's whether you're ready to receive it. The Atlantean king who ruled for 16,000 years. Ancient Egyptian texts describe Thoth as both a deity and a historical ruler who governed for an impossible span of time, 16,000 years, according to some accounts. The Emerald Tablets claim he was originally an Atlantean king who survived the destruction of his homeland, bringing advanced knowledge to Egypt. Greek historians like Manetho also listed him among the early divine rulers of Egypt, creating a puzzle for modern researchers. How could one figure appear in both myth and historical records across such vast time periods? This duality positions Thoth as a figure straddling the line between legend and reality, much like a cosmic clock marking epochs rather than mere years. The tablets describe Thoth as the master of all knowledge, the measurer of time, the scribe who records the balance. He's credited with inventing writing, mathematics, astronomy, and architecture, the foundations of civilization. Some translations suggest he didn't merely live for millennia, but mastered the ability to move through time at will. The text states, "I am Thoth, who measured out the heavens, who stopped the stars, who measured the earth." This hints at control over cosmic forces beyond normal human capabilities, portraying him as a timeless architect of knowledge. Archaeological evidence adds another layer to the mystery. The Palermo stone, an ancient Egyptian record of kings, lists pre-dynastic rulers with reigns lasting hundreds of years. While mainstream Egyptology dismisses these as mythological, the Emerald Tablets present them as factual. Thoth's alleged longevity might symbolize more than physical years, perhaps a lineage of initiates preserving knowledge or a metaphor for consciousness transcending time. The tablets speak of cycles within cycles, suggesting Thoth operated on a different timescale than ordinary humans, much like a pendulum swinging through dimensions. This idea isn't unique to Egypt. Many ancient cultures describe long-lived wisdom keepers. The Sumerian king lists mention rulers reigning for tens of thousands of years, while Hindu texts speak of yogis extending their lifespans through spiritual practice. The Emerald Tablets align Thoth with this global tradition, stating, "Know ye that in the pyramid I built are the keys that show the way through time." His longevity may not have been biological, but rooted in an understanding of temporal mechanics. Modern physics offers intriguing parallels. Quantum theory suggests time may not flow linearly, while relativity shows it's malleable based on velocity and gravity. The tablets describe Thoth accessing the space between moments, a concept resembling physicist David Bohm's implicate order, a hidden dimension underlying reality. Mystery schools taught that mastering certain mental states could alter subjective time perception. The tablets hint at this when stating, "He who understands the vibration of the all can step outside the turning wheel," suggesting Thoth's reign represents the expansion of consciousness beyond temporal limits. The Indestructible tablets. a library of cosmic secrets. The emerald tablets were described as physical objects with impossible properties, crafted from an unknown green crystalline material that resisted all attempts at damage or decay. Ancient accounts claim they couldn't be scratched by metal tools, burned by fire, or eroded by time. Their surface bore intricate symbols that seemed to be part of the material's molecular structure rather than carved. The tablets were reportedly stored in an ark-like container lined with an insulating substance to preserve their vibrational integrity. This description is puzzling because no known ancient civilization had the technology to create such materials. The closest modern equivalent might be optical data storage crystals, developed by researchers at the University of Southampton, capable of preserving information for billions of years. The tablets' alleged properties suggest an understanding of material science far beyond known metallurgical techniques. Alchemical texts from medieval Europe reference similar indestructible substances, calling them the philosopher's stone in its solid form. The tablets reportedly emitted a faint hum or vibration that was detectable by sensitive individuals. Some translations describe initiates placing their hands on the surface and receiving knowledge through direct mental transmission, bypassing normal reading. This resembles modern experiments with cymatics, the study of how sound waves influence matter. Researchers have demonstrated how specific frequencies can organize particles into intricate patterns, suggesting information might be stored in molecular vibrations. The tablet's text states, "The symbols live not in the stone, but in the space between stone and mind." Historical records from Hermetic traditions claim the tablets could self-repair minor damage over time, with the green material slowly flowing to fill gaps. This matches descriptions of programmable matter in contemporary nanotechnology research, where materials with shape memory alloys can alter their structure in response to stimuli. If the tablets contained similar technology, it would explain their reputation as eternal objects. The method of information storage may have been more sophisticated than simple engraving. Some passages suggest the tablets changed their content based on who was reading them, showing different information to different initiates. This parallels quantum computing principles, where information exists in superposition until observed. A 2018 study in Nature demonstrated how graphene sheets could store data in electron spin states, creating rewritable atomic-scale memory. The tablet's description as living books has new meaning in this context. The tablet's physical resilience carried symbolic meaning in mystery schools. Their indestructibility represented the eternal nature of true wisdom, unchanged by political revolutions, natural disasters, or the rise and fall of civilizations. Initiates learned that while languages, religions, and empires might fade, the fundamental laws of existence remain constant. The text emphasizes this. As the tablet withstands the fire, so truth withstands all ignorance. The forbidden knowledge, why Thoth hid his wisdom. Thoth didn't hide his knowledge out of selfishness, but because certain truths can overwhelm unprepared minds. The emerald tablets warn, "Cast not pearls before swine, nor give wisdom to those not ready to receive it." Ancient mystery schools enforced strict initiation processes, requiring years of psychological and moral preparation. These weren't hazing rituals but safeguards to ensure candidates could handle the profound teachings responsibly. Historical accounts illustrate the dangers of unprepared revelation. The Greek magician Thessalos claimed to have found Thoth's secret texts in Thebes, only to suffer visions that nearly drove him mad. Similarly, the Demotic Chronicle recounts Egyptian priests misusing sacred formulas for personal gain, leading to their untimely deaths. These weren't supernatural punishments, but natural consequences, like unleashing high-voltage electricity into an unprotected circuit. Modern psychology reinforces these ancient warnings. Studies on spiritual emergencies reveal that premature exposure to advanced concepts can trigger dissociative states. The Journal of Transpersonal Psychology documents cases where individuals lacking proper grounding experienced identity fragmentation. The tablets describe this danger metaphorically. He who opens the third eye without first strengthening his vessel will be blinded by the light. The most protected teachings involved manipulating consciousness. Some passages suggest that initiates could alter their perception of reality so profoundly that they appeared to walk through walls or become invisible. While this sounds fantastical, quantum physics experiments show observation affects matter at subatomic levels. The tablets caution, to move a mountain first requires moving the mountain within yourself, implying these abilities stem from internal transformation, not mere technique. Energy manipulation posed another significant risk. Certain translations describe methods for channeling cosmic forces that could harm the untrained. This aligns with modern bioelectric research. Studies at UCLA show trained Qigong practitioners can emit energy bursts 1,000% stronger than average humans. The tablets warn, the fire that enlightens can also consume, a principle familiar to anyone working with high-voltage systems. Social stability was also a concern. The Hermetic texts state that Thoth's complete teachings could collapse civilizations if revealed prematurely. This parallels how nuclear physics reshaped global politics overnight. The Kybalion explains, when new truth would destroy more than it builds, the wise withhold it until minds are ready. Archaeological evidence shows that cultures that experienced sudden technological leaps often collapsed and were unable to adapt to rapid change. Thoth's teachings suggest knowledge becomes safe only after achieving certain consciousness thresholds. One passage states, "When your heart weighs lighter than the feather of Ma'at, these words will open like flowers," implying purification of intent is essential. Brain scans of advanced meditators at Harvard revealed distinct neural patterns that may enable such shifts in perception. The blueprint of reality, Thoth's teachings on creation. The Emerald Tablets present a radical view of reality, one where the physical world emerges from consciousness rather than the other way around. Thoth's central teaching, as above, so below, suggests the universe operates like a hologram, where the patterns within us reflect the cosmos at large. This idea finds echoes in quantum physics. For instance, researchers at the University of Paris demonstrated that particles could retroactively change their behavior based on future observations, aligning with the tablet's claim that time flows both ways for those who see. Ancient Egyptian creation myths describe the world forming through Thoth's spoken words, a concept modern science approaches through quantum field theory. The tablets state, all that exists is but vibration, and he who controls vibration controls all. This resonates with discoveries at CERN, where scientists observe how particles emerge from energy fluctuations in quantum fields. What ancient priests called the creative word, physicists now describe as symmetry breaking in the Higgs field, where energy transforms into matter. The tablets also describe thought as a tangible force shaping reality. One passage explains, "The images you hold in mind become the substance of your world." Modern experiments support this. At Stanford, researchers found that focused mental intention could influence random number generators, with stronger effects observed in experienced meditators. This suggests consciousness can interact with physical systems, much like the tablets propose. Thoth's teachings distinguish between ordinary perception and true seeing. The text warns, most men sleepwalk through reality, mistaking shadows for substance. Neuroscience supports this, showing that our brains filter out most sensory data to construct a simplified model of reality. The tablets offer methods to expand perception, resembling mindfulness practices studied at Harvard Medical School, which enhance neuroplasticity and broaden awareness. The tablets' practical exercises emphasize the power of mental imagery. One technique involves constructing vivid mental pictures and sustaining them with emotional energy, a practice modern psychologists call creative visualization. Research at the Cleveland Clinic shows that mental rehearsal can activate brain patterns and muscles almost as effectively as physical practice. The tablets take this further, suggesting that when focus and will align, the imagined becomes real. Time perception is another key element. The text advises, to change your future, first change your present moment's vibration. Temporal neuroscience shows how emotional states alter time perception, with fear slowing time and flow states accelerating it. The tablets propose mastering these experiences to navigate potential futures consciously. Finally, the tablets caution against the selfish use of these principles. To manifest from selfish desire is to poison your own well. Psychology research on narcissism supports this, showing how ego-driven goals often lead to self-sabotage. Thoth's system emphasizes aligning personal will with universal harmony, or swimming with the current of creation. The Time Masters, Secrets of Chrono-Manipulation. The Emerald Tablets describe Thoth as the measurer of time who is not measured by time, a being capable of stepping outside chronological sequences at will. Ancient Egyptian texts recount Thoth appearing in multiple locations simultaneously or knowing events before they occurred. The pyramid texts mention him walking between the moments, suggesting an ability to pause or reorder temporal sequences. These accounts were not framed as miracles, but as skills attainable through disciplined training. Modern physics offers intriguing parallels to these ancient claims. Quantum experiments at the National Institute of Standards and Technology have shown that particles can exist in temporal superposition, experiencing multiple timelines simultaneously. The tablets echo this concept. All possible nows exist as threads in the great tapestry. The Master Weaver chooses which to pull forward. This idea aligns with physicist Lee Smolin's hypothesis that time emerges from quantum relationships rather than as an independent flow. The tablets also outline techniques for altering time perception. One exercise involves rhythmic breathing synchronized with the heartbeat, while visualizing time as a spiral. Neuroscience research at the University of California supports this, showing that such practices can significantly alter subjective time experience, with meditators reporting minutes feeling like hours. The tablets explain, when breath, pulse, and mind find one rhythm, the illusion of time's arrow shatters. Time mastery, according to Thoth, focuses on internal perception rather than external clocks. The text states, "He who controls his consciousness controls time." Studies on flow states at Stanford confirm this. Individuals deeply immersed in activities often underestimate elapsed time. The tablets suggest that initiates can achieve voluntary time dilation or compression with sustained practice. To the initiate, a single breath may contain a lifetime's wisdom. One account describes an initiate meditating for what felt like hours, only to find mere minutes had passed, demonstrating the profound impact of these techniques. The most advanced teachings concern retrocausality, the ability to influence past events from the present. The tablets claim, What will be has already shaped what was. While this seems implausible, quantum experiments have demonstrated retrocausal effects, such as measurements altering a particle's prior state. Thoth's methods allegedly allowed initiates to consciously apply this principle, described as cleaning the threads of time, to resolve past traumas by envisioning their future resolution. Practical applications begin with observation. The tablets advise, watch your days not as one watching a river flow, but as one studying the river's eddies and currents. Psychological studies show that detailed time tracking improves time management. The tablets suggest this is only the first step. Eventually, time becomes a malleable medium rather than a fixed constraint. The Pyramid Connection, Thoth's architectural legacy. Mainstream Egyptology maintains the Great Pyramid was built around 2560 BCE as Pharaoh Khufu's tomb, yet no mummy or grave goods were ever found inside. The structure lacks inscriptions typical of royal tombs, and its design differs markedly from known burial pyramids. The emerald tablets offer an alternative explanation. I, Thoth, built the Great Pyramid as a hall of initiation, its chambers tuned to the vibrations of eternal wisdom. This perspective aligns with architectural features that challenge conventional understanding. The pyramid's design reflects a precision that seems almost otherworldly. Its interior contains shafts and chambers with precise astronomical alignments, tracking celestial cycles. The so-called King's Chamber houses a granite coffer too large to have been brought in after construction, suggesting the chamber was built around it. Recent muon scans reveal unexplained voids above the Grand Gallery, and their purpose is still unknown. The tablets describe these features as part of a spiritual journey. The initiate's ascent mirrors the soul's rise through hidden dimensions, each chamber a gateway to greater understanding. Material science adds to the mystery. The pyramid's core stones conduct electricity unusually well and emit faint electromagnetic pulses under certain conditions. Russian researchers found the structure amplifies radio waves resonating at specific frequencies. The tablets reference this phenomenon. The shaped stones gather the forces of heaven and earth, focusing them for those who know their use. Modern studies confirm that pyramid shapes can concentrate electromagnetic waves within their chambers as if the structure were a finely tuned instrument harmonizing with the cosmos. The geometry encodes advanced mathematical constants. The ratio of its perimeter to height equals 2 pi, requiring extraordinary precision. When converted, its latitude coordinates 29.9792 degrees north match the speed of light in a vacuum, 299,792 kilometers per second. While Egyptologists dismiss this as coincidence, the tablets state, numbers measure the harmonies of creation. He who understands their music hears the voice of the gods. The pyramid sides align to true north with an accuracy of 0.05 degrees, a feat unmatched by contemporary tools. Acoustic properties suggest intentional design. The subterranean chamber resonates at 121 Hz, a frequency known to alter brain states. The Grand Gallery's core-built ceiling acts as a sound waveguide, creating standing wave patterns. The tablets describe sound-based rituals. When the proper tones vibrate through these passages, stone becomes as water and flesh as light. Experiments reveal harmonic interference patterns within the pyramid as if it were designed to channel sound into transformative energy. Even its thermal behavior defies explanation. Certain limestone blocks retain heat differently, maintaining constant temperatures despite external fluctuations. The tablets call this the living stone's breath, hinting at information storage in crystalline structures. Together, these features suggest the Great Pyramid is not merely a monument, but a symphony of cosmic design, resonating with Thoth's eternal wisdom. The Reincarnation Paradox. Thoth's multiple lives. The concept of conscious reincarnation appears throughout the Emerald Tablets, with Thoth describing himself as the eternal scribe who walks many paths in many forms. Ancient texts from various cultures reference figures resembling Thoth, such as the Greek Hermes, the Roman Mercury, and the biblical Enoch, appearing across centuries. These figures are often interpreted as the same consciousness manifesting in different eras. The tablets state, "As the moon waxes and wanes yet remains itself, so the enlightened soul wears many faces while keeping its essence." Historical parallels between these figures are striking. Hermes Trismegistus, the legendary author of Hermetic texts, shared Thoth's attributes as a wisdom bringer who invented writing and science. Both were depicted with caduceus staffs and linked to planetary movements. The tablets explain, "When the world needs remembering, I return in forms the age can understand," suggesting a deliberate strategy of cultural adaptation rather than random rebirth. Modern past life research offers intriguing connections. Dr. Ian Stevenson's studies at the University of Virginia documented over 2,500 cases of children recalling verifiable past lives, some with birthmarks matching fatal wounds from their memories. The tablets describe a similar process for enlightened beings. The Master chooses the hour and manner of his return, marking his new flesh with signs of his purpose. This implies advanced souls might have greater control over reincarnation than ordinary people. The mechanics of conscious rebirth differ from standard reincarnation models. The tablets describe a process where the silver cord is not severed but carefully coiled, suggesting enlightened beings maintain continuity of awareness between lives. Tibetan Buddhist texts mention similar abilities among high lamas, who sometimes leave instructions about their next incarnation. Neuroscience research on terminal lucidity, when dementia patients briefly regain full consciousness before death, hints at consciousness existing beyond brain function. Thoth's reappearances seem tied to pivotal cultural transitions. He emerges during Egypt's early dynastic period, reappears as Hermes during Greece's philosophical golden age, and later as Hermes Trismegistus during Alexandria's intellectual peak. The tablets frame this as intentional. When minds hunger for truth, the sower returns with seeds of wisdom. These eras marked major shifts in human consciousness, from mythic to rational thinking, then toward mystical synthesis. The tablets describe 3 levels of rebirth. Most souls return unconsciously, driven by winds of karma. Advanced seekers may remember fragments of past lives. True masters allegedly reincarnate with full awareness. They walk among men knowing themselves as eternal. Dr. Jim Tucker's research at UVA documents children recalling intermission periods between lives, sometimes describing a planning process for their next incarnation, echoing Thoth's teachings. The implications for humanity are profound. If enlightened beings can choose their rebirths, this suggests that human potential extends far beyond conventional limits. The tablets state, "What one has done, all may do in time." The alchemical transformation, turning lead into gold within. For centuries, alchemy was dismissed as primitive chemistry, medieval scientists trying to turn lead into gold. But the Emerald Tablets reveal a deeper truth. The true furnace lies within the human heart, and the real gold is the light of consciousness. Thoth's alchemical symbols describe inner transformation rather than material change. The 7 stages of alchemical transformation align with psychological growth. The blackening stage reflects ego dissolution, the widening stage signifies mental clarity, and the reddening marks the emergence of higher awareness. Carl Jung studied alchemical texts for decades, linking them to the individuation process, the journey to psychological wholeness. Modern neuroscience supports this connection. Brain scans show that meditation, a key tool for self-awareness, produces physical changes akin to alchemical transformation. Long-term meditators develop thicker prefrontal cortices associated with wisdom and smaller amygdalae linked to fear. As the tablets state, what the fool seeks in his crucible, the wise man finds in his own mind. The alchemical vessel symbolizes the human body-mind system. Tools like alembics and retorts represent mental faculties. Distillation mirrors discernment, while coagulation reflects focused intention. The tablets describe exercises such as breathe the fire of will into the waters of emotion, and steam of insight will rise. This parallels breathwork practices that balance the nervous system. Biofeedback research confirms these techniques can shift brainwave patterns within minutes. The Philosopher's Stone is a metaphor for transformed consciousness. The tablets call it the crystalline awareness that transmutes all experience into wisdom. Neuroscience reveals that mindfulness practice reshapes the brain. Gray matter increases in areas governing emotional regulation after just 8 weeks. The alchemical maxim, solve et coagula, dissolve and recombine, reflects the brain's neuroplastic ability to break and reform neural connections. Practical alchemy begins with self-observation. The tablets advise, watch your thoughts as the alchemist watches his flask, with patience and detachment. Cognitive behavioral therapy employs similar techniques to identify and reshape thought patterns. Alchemy emphasizes elevating thought's vibrational quality through the fire of continuous attention. Metals symbolize psychological states. Lead represents heavy, fearful thinking. Silver reflects intuition. Gold embodies enlightened awareness. The tablets state, as base metal purified becomes gold, so the mind freed from dross becomes wisdom. Studies on expert meditators show their brains process information with remarkable efficiency, akin to refining metal for better conductivity. The alchemical wedding, the union of opposites, describes brain hemisphere integration. The tablets say, when sun and moon marry in your skull, the child born is understanding. EEG studies show peak mental states involve synchronized hemispheric activity, achievable through breath control and visualization. Alchemy's symbols map inner transformation. The Ouroboros represents self-awareness, while the phoenix embodies rebirth. The tablets promise, he who transforms his leaden moments will soon hold the golden hour in his hands. The Consciousness Experiment, Thoth's human upgrade. Human evolution often appears as a gradual process in biology textbooks, a slow climb from primitive ancestors to modern Homo sapiens. Yet the archaeological record reveals sudden leaps. Around 50,000 years ago, human culture surged with cave paintings, complex tools, and ritual burials. Mainstream science calls this the Great Leap Forward, but struggles to explain its rapidity. The Emerald Tablets offer a provocative perspective. I took the clay of man and breathed into it the fire of self-knowledge, creating vessels for divine light. This suggests conscious intervention may have accelerated our development, like an artist refining raw material into a masterpiece. The tablets describe both genetic and spiritual enhancements to early humans. One passage states, the first men knew not their own souls until we opened their inner eyes. Interestingly, geneticists have identified a rapidly evolving gene called HAR1, which is crucial for brain development, particularly in the neocortex, the seat of higher cognition. The timing intriguingly aligns with Thoth's alleged interventions. The text continues, "What nature built in eons, we refined in generations." Ancient astronaut theorists draw parallels between the tablets and Sumerian accounts of the Anunnaki modifying primitive workers. The tablets claim, "We shaped your bodies to hold more light than the earthborn could bear." Modern humans possess unique genetic markers such as mutations in the FOXP2 gene linked to language, absent in other primates. The text suggests these changes unlock new capacities. Where beasts know only hunger and fear, you may know truth and beauty. The human brain itself holds mysteries. Our prefrontal cortex, responsible for abstract thought, developed unusually fast. Neuroscientists remain puzzled by why such energy-intensive tissue evolved so rapidly. The tablets propose the higher mind is not born of struggle but a gift. This aligns with findings that human brains consume more energy than expected for their size, as if designed for functions beyond survival. Consciousness adds another layer of intrigue. While most animals operate on instinct, humans possess meta-awareness, the ability to reflect on their own thoughts. The tablets describe this as intentional. We planted the seed that grows into self-knowing. Studies confirm humans uniquely recognize themselves in mirrors, plan far into the future, and ponder existential questions. The text states, "This is the mark. When a creature asks, 'Who am I?' the experiment has succeeded." Archaeological anomalies like Göbekli Tepe deepen the mystery. Built 12,000 years ago, its massive astronomically aligned pillars predate advanced architecture. The tablets hint at such sites. Where we touched the earth, stones rose in witness. These sudden leaps in culture and biology suggest a guiding hand, shaping humanity like a sculptor, refining raw stone into art. The divine language, words that shape reality. Modern linguistics shows how language shapes perception. The Sapir-Whorf hypothesis demonstrates that different languages create distinct cognitive frameworks. Russian speakers who have multiple words for blue actually perceive more shades than English speakers. But the Emerald tablets describe something even more profound. "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was of light and power beyond your letters." This suggests that sound patterns might directly interact with reality's fabric. The tablets reference a primal language called the tongue of the birds, a vibrational code allegedly used to structure matter. Ancient traditions echo this idea. Hebrew mystics believed the Torah's letters held creative power when properly intoned, while Hindu mantras like Om claim to contain the universe's fundamental frequency. The tablets state, the first language had no nouns, only verbs, patterns of becoming rather than names for things. This resonates with quantum physics, where particles exist as probability waves until observed. Research reveals surprising connections between sound and matter. Cymatics experiments demonstrate how specific frequencies organize particles into intricate geometric patterns. Sand on a metal plate forms mandala-like designs when vibrated at specific hertz. The tablets describe similar phenomena. When the true names are spoken, water crystallizes into flowers of light. This aligns with Masaru Emoto's controversial findings, where water formed different ice crystal structures when exposed to various words or music. Sacred languages share unique characteristics. Sanskrit, used in Vedic rituals, has precise phonetic rules ensuring each syllable produces specific vibrational effects. The tablets explain, the old tongues held mathematics in their sounds, each vowel a number, each consonant an equation. Modern speech analysis reveals that ancient liturgical languages like Hebrew and Egyptian hieroglyphics embed mathematical ratios matching cosmic constants. The text continues, "Fools seek meaning in dictionaries, while sages listen for the harmonics between syllables." The tablets warn that modern languages lost this power through simplification. Your words now point where once they created. Comparative linguistics shows languages becoming less complex over time. English uses about 44 phonemes compared to 141 in some African click languages. This degradation, the text suggests, muted humanity's creative capacity. When sounds flattened, so did your perception of dimensions. Studies confirm tonal languages like Mandarin activate more brain areas than non-tonal ones, suggesting richer neural processing. Practical applications emerge from this understanding. The tablets describe words of power constructed from specific vowel-consonant combinations that resonate with the body's energy centers. Neuroimaging studies show chanting certain mantras produces unique brainwave patterns. Tibetan monks generate gamma waves linked to heightened awareness during mantra recitation. The text instructs, to heal flesh, match the sound to the organ's natural pulse. The liver sings at F sharp, the heart at D. Sound therapy now uses precisely tuned frequencies to promote cellular repair. Personal practice begins with mindful speech. The tablets advise, let no word leave your lips that doesn't first pass through 3 gates. Is it true? Is it necessary? Is it kind? Psychology studies show positive self-talk rewires neural pathways. Patients recovering from depression show different brain activation patterns after cognitive behavioral therapy. The text continues, what you call yourself daily becomes your flesh. Name yourself wisely. The initiation path, why knowledge must be earned. Today's world treats knowledge like a buffet. Take whatever you want, as much as you want, with no questions asked. Universities post lectures online. Books explain advanced concepts to beginners, and social media delivers spiritual teachings in bite-sized posts. But the Emerald tablets offer a contrasting model. Wisdom enters not through the ear, but through the fire of experience. Ancient mystery schools required years of preparation before revealing deeper truths. The tablets warn, give a sword to a child and he will cut himself. Give wisdom to the unprepared and he will destroy himself. Initiation rituals weren't about secrecy for its own sake. Egyptian temples tested candidates with isolation, sensory deprivation, and symbolic deaths. The tablets describe these ordeals. First, the body learns stillness, then the heart learns fearlessness, then the mind learns to see in the dark. Modern psychology echoes this. Studies on psychedelic therapy show that overwhelming mystical experiences without proper integration can cause lasting trauma. The text states, the vessel must be tempered before it can hold boiling water. The tablets outline 7 gates of initiation, each tied to psychological transformation. The first gate required facing one's shadow, what Jung called the repressed aspects of personality. Candidates spent nights in underground chambers confronting their fears. The tablets explain, he who cannot bear his own face in the mirror will shatter when shown the face of God. Similarly, modern spiritual seekers often face emotional upheaval when unprepared for expanded consciousness, as seen in research on spiritual emergencies. Intermediate stages tested discernment. Initiates had to distinguish real visions from illusions, a skill modern neuroscience calls metacognition. The tablets say, many spirits dance in the temple, some are guides, some are tempters. Brain studies show advanced meditators develop heightened reality testing abilities, unlike those experiencing drug-induced hallucinations. The text warns, "The fool follows every light, the wise man checks his compass." Higher initiations introduced paradoxical teachings like "the way up is the way down" and "silence speaks louder than thunder." Cognitive science reveals such paradoxes disrupt default thought patterns, creating openings for insight. The tablets state, "When your mind breaks against these rocks, the pieces will reform in truer shapes." Modern seekers face different but equally challenging tests. The tablets predict, "In the age of information, discernment will be the sharpest sword." Today's challenge isn't accessing knowledge, but filtering signal from noise. A 2023 Stanford study found the average person encounters more data in a month than medieval scholars did in a lifetime. The text advises, "Seek not more answers, but better questions." Failed relationships, career struggles, and illnesses become today's initiation rites. The tablets remind us, "Your suffering contains your syllabus." The modern legacy, Thoth's influence on today's world. Modern mindfulness apps and self-help books often present meditation and manifestation as new discoveries, yet their core principles trace back to Thoth's teachings. The law of attraction reflects the tablet's statement. As within, so without, the images you hold in mind become the substance of your world. A 2022 study in Nature Human Behavior confirmed that focused intention alters brain connectivity patterns, influencing real-world outcomes. Quantum physics also echoes Thoth's cosmology. The Hermetic axiom, "as above, so below," anticipated holographic universe theory by millennia. Physicist David Bohm's implicate order, a hidden dimension where all reality exists as potential, parallels the tablet's unformed realm behind the veil of matter. When CERN scientists observed particles emerging from empty space, they demonstrated what Thoth described as the dance of creation from the void. Psychology's breakthroughs align with ancient blueprints. Cognitive behavioral therapy mirrors Thoth's mental alchemy, transforming negative thought patterns, lead, into constructive ones, gold. The tablets warned, "What you call yourself daily becomes your flesh," a principle validated by studies showing self-talk rewires neural pathways. Even Freud's subconscious reflects Thoth's shadow realm within. Modern energy medicine revives temple healing practices. Biofield imaging captures the luminous energy field Egyptian priests called the Ka body. The tablets describe channels of light in the flesh, long before scientists mapped the body's meridian system. Research at the University of California shows trained practitioners can manipulate these energy fields, with measurable changes in electrical conductivity at acupuncture points corresponding to emotional states. Corporate training unknowingly applies Thoth's initiation principles. Silicon Valley's stress inoculation training mirrors mystery school ordeals, purposeful discomfort to build resilience. Google's Search Inside Yourself program teaches emotional intelligence using techniques similar to those in the Book of Thoth. The tablet stated, "A mind that masters itself masters all things," a truth now supported by studies linking emotional regulation to professional success. Education also reflects Thoth's methods. Montessori schools emphasize hands-on learning through symbolic materials, echoing temple training. The tablets advised, "Wisdom enters through the hands before it reaches the mind," a principle supported by research showing kinesthetic learning enhances neural connectivity. Finland's top-ranked education system incorporates meditation breaks, recalling Thoth's moments of stillness between lessons. Even modern wellness practices draw from ancient secrets. Infrared saunas, float tanks, and cryotherapy parallel the tablet's descriptions of purification by ice and fire. Research confirms these methods boost neurogenesis, proving what mystery schools taught through experience. Thoth's teachings endure, shaping fields from science to self-improvement. They remind us that ancient wisdom holds the power to transform not just civilizations, but individual lives. The practical path: applying Thoth's wisdom daily. You wake up each day with good intentions, meditate, stay positive, and work toward your goals. But by afternoon, stress takes over, distractions multiply, and those spiritual practices get postponed. The Emerald Tablets address this struggle. The path isn't walked in great leaps, but in small, steady steps that accumulate like sand becoming a mountain. Thoth's wisdom offers practical solutions for modern lives, blending ancient insight with actionable steps. Start your day with a simple morning ritual from the tablets. Upon waking, speak aloud one thing you're grateful for. Words spoken at dawn set the day's vibration, the tablet state. Neuroscience supports this. A 2021 study in Nature showed vocalizing positive statements upon waking creates lasting changes in amygdala activity. Then drink water while visualizing your day flowing smoothly, a practice the tablets call charging the waters of your body with intention. Finally, stand barefoot and imagine roots extending downward, grounding your energy. Research on earthing shows this reduces inflammation and balances the body's electrical charge. These small actions set a foundation for a focused, intentional day. When stress arises, turn to Thoth's breath of the ibis. Inhale for 4 counts, hold for 7, and exhale for 8. The sacred bird's rhythm calms the storm within, the tablets explain. Studies confirm this breathing pattern activates the parasympathetic nervous system faster than standard deep breathing. Place one hand on your solar plexus during the practice. This area, described in the tablets as gathering scattered energies, is now known to house over 100 million neurons that respond to touch. Could a few mindful breaths transform your response to chaos? Transform everyday activities into moments of mindfulness. While eating, repeat the phrase, "This food becomes light within me." Research shows mindful eating improves nutrient absorption. During a walk, practice Thoth's horizontal meditation by alternating focus between distant and nearby objects. The body learns to focus through the eyes first, the tablet state, a concept echoed by modern optometry. These practices turn the mundane into opportunities for growth. End your day with reflection. Write down 3 actions that aligned with your values and 1 that didn't. Judge yourself gently but honestly, as Maat's feather judges the soul, the tablets advise. Studies show this balanced self-assessment boosts motivation. Before sleep, rub your palms together until warm and place them over your eyes. Known as sealing the day's visions, this technique triggers melatonin production, preparing your body for rest. Thoth's teachings remind us that transformation isn't about grand gestures, but small, consistent actions. How will you weave this ancient wisdom into your modern life? The return prophecy. Is Thoth among us now? The Emerald Tablets contain a curious passage. When the iron birds fly and voices travel without mouths, I will walk again among you. This description of airplanes and telecommunications suggests Thoth foresaw our technological age as a marker for his return. The tablets state, every age receives the teachers it requires, not those it desires. Could Thoth's symbolic return already be underway, hidden in plain sight? Modern figures exhibit qualities that echo Thoth's teachings. For example, the invention of the internet mirrors the tablet's description of merging minds with the infinite network, a concept resembling brain-computer interfaces. Similarly, physicist Michio Kaku's work on string theory aligns with Thoth's multidimensional cosmology. The text states, "In the time of great forgetting, some will remember fragments of the old knowledge." These individuals may not be Thoth incarnate, but they could carry forward his intellectual legacy. The tablets also describe signs of authentic wisdom. True teaching brings clarity, not confusion, empowerment, not dependence. This contrasts sharply with modern cult leaders who demand blind obedience. Research from the University of Virginia shows that healthy spiritual guidance fosters critical thinking while harmful groups suppress it. The text warns, "False teachers will multiply when the true one approaches, like weeds before the harvest." This suggests discernment is key in identifying genuine wisdom. Collective consciousness shifts may also play a role in Thoth's return. The Global Consciousness Project at Princeton has recorded measurable changes in random number generators during major world events. The tablets predicted when enough minds vibrate at a higher frequency, the door opens. This aligns with biologist Rupert Sheldrake's theory of morphic resonance, which posits that thoughts gain power through repetition across a population. Could humanity's growing interconnectedness pave the way for a new era of wisdom? The timing of Thoth's return remains uncertain. The tablets reference celestial alignments. When Sirius stands directly above the pyramid's apex, the cycle completes. Astronomers calculate this occurs every 26,000 years, with the next alignment beginning around 2800 CE. However, the text also mentions smaller turnings within the Great Cycle. Current planetary transits, such as Pluto entering Aquarius, are seen by astrologers as markers of knowledge revolutions, suggesting we may already be in one such turning. The method of return may surprise us. The tablets hint it could be collective rather than individual. Many will carry pieces of the whole unknowingly. This resembles the 100th monkey effect, where critical mass creates sudden widespread awareness. The text advises, "Seek not the teacher but the teaching. When the student is ready, the two will meet." Perhaps the wisdom of Thoth is already within reach, waiting for us to recognize it. The Emerald Tablets leave us with a simple but profound choice. You can continue seeing reality as fixed and unchangeable, or recognize it as something more fluid, a construct that responds to conscious participation. Thoth's wisdom wasn't lost over time, but preserved for minds ready to understand it. Now that you've encountered these ideas, the real work begins. The tablets state, "What you do with this knowledge writes the next chapter." Your daily thoughts, choices, and actions become the tools for shaping your experience. The question isn't whether these principles work, but how you'll apply them, starting today.